We're moving on. We've gotten a couple of different perspectives here. We've gotten to start with the whole issue of how can I do factoring to help with my working capital, and we've talked about partnering and how can I partner and benefit from having big guys around me. And one of our guests and presenters is a representative of a really big guy called Wells Fargo. So Ademil Castrillo has 16 years of banking experience, and he's going to talk to us about SBA and a lot of the other programs that are specifically designed for us in the small business category.
Thank you.
What do you?
Good afternoon, Ademil Castrillo, Wells Fargo Bank. You're absolutely right. The government will own you, and banks as well. They'll get you whichever way. So anyway, SBA, Wells Fargo, #1 SBA 7(a) lender in the United States as well as Florida. What do we do, and what do we do that can benefit you? We do startups. So it doesn't matter the type of business that you want to start up. What do we require? Experience. Do you have experience in that industry? That's #1. Experience is key. You're not going to have a doctor wanting to go and open up a restaurant, right? They try to do that, but that's not something that we can lend to. So, having said that, going back to the gentleman with the charter schools, experience is there. So we can take a look at that. We can take a look at a startup from $50,000, loan amount, all the way up to no limit, based on the SBA guidelines, which 7(a) or 504. Typically, we're doing 7(a) on those. So experience. We're looking at credit. Okay, and then we're looking at a business plan. Business plan is key for us. We want to see projections. 1 year, month to month. Second and third year, you can just do it yearly. But that's key to us, right? And then we're looking for 35% injection, your own funds. That's skin in the game. That's what we're looking for. You're not going to expect for the bank to finance 100% of your project, right? And then you run it. So what are we doing? What we're doing is providing the capital that a lot of businesses, actually entrepreneurs, and a lot of people, due to the economy, they're going back to school or saying, you know what, I just need to reinvent myself. And that's what they're doing. So we have the capital to be able to do that, provide that. That's one of the funding that we do for startups. Another one is purchasing real estate. Very, very favorable terms that we have. We can do up to 90% financing on owner-occupied real estate. 25 years amortization on a fixed rate. We're probably one of the few banks that I know nationwide that can do that type of lending out there. It almost sounds like a consumer type of house loan with 90%, well, yeah, 90% financing. So we do that. It's got to be owner-occupied. So what we're requesting from you is 10% injection, you own funds. What else do? We do buyouts and we do buy-ins. Okay, you want to buy out your partner? Absolutely, we have the capital for that. You want to buy into a business? We have the capital for that. So, any questions so far on the SBA?
What's the percentage hit rate on SBAs right now?
The percentage what?
How many applications are fulfilled with a loan? So what's the hit rate in terms of being fulfilled?
Typically what we're seeing is, here's what we do. When we're sitting down with clients, what I do is I consult with the clients. The SBA is just basically just another way for us to provide funding sources to our clients. Could we go conventional with this? Or could we go SBA? So to answer your question is, on the startups, we basically do a really good scrub before. And what we do is we partner with Core, okay? And we'll look at your business plan, and if it's not there, we send you back to SCORE and say, there is a way that you can sharpen up this business plan in order for this to be a viable deal for us to provide funding. The hit ratio, we're probably going into the 70%, going through that scrub process. So you're meeting with me, okay, and I tell you what the requirements are. We have specialists with Wells Fargo, that's all they do, day in and day out. All they do is SBA lending, locally here. So basically, you meet with me, I introduce you to the specialist, and we put you through the process. One thing is that Wells Fargo, it's a lender that has already been authorized by the SBA to provide SBA financing. So what we do is we take you from the initial meeting with you, get some preliminary financial information, provide you with a proposed letter. Once you accept that proposed letter, then we ask you for additional financial information, and we provide you with a full term sheet approval within 10 to 15 business days. And we take you from start all the way to the closing. We don't have to go to the CDC to ask, or to the SBA to ask for an SBA number and see if this deal is a viable deal. We'll close it, then we go to the SBA and say, give us a number on this. Yes, sir.
How about M&As that deal with multiple states? Are you specifically in this area that falls
No,
within your category, or?
Wells Fargo can lend anywhere in the United States.
So
it doesn't
rolling up
matter
a-
whether, yeah. it
So
doesn't
rolling
matter.
up a multitude of companies within a small environment?
Yeah, he can do Texas, he can do California
Absolutely.
personally.
Okay.
We just did one with Wells Fargo and M&A, where it was the Virginia, DC Wells Fargo guy funded an IT company in Ocala. So now Wells is all 50 states. I got a question for you. The 7A, when you look at the chart and you look at what they'll advance against certain assets, they don't advance a lot against accounts receivable.
That's right.
And a lot of times post 7A, people see they need more money,
That's right.
but then they got a full bore UCC one on all the assets. How many times do you see them like carve out the, it's only like what, 20% I think is the credit on AR?
Yeah.
So, and historically some of the problems is you go to need more money and then the 7As, they have everything. And, so, I recommend clients sometimes that everybody needs more working capital than they think they are. So try to carve out at least the AR since you ain't getting much of a credit anyway up front.
Yeah.
Or you can carve it out to Wells. I'm doing a staffing company right now that Wells has a 7A, but then Wells Business Credit has the receivables on the staffing company, which is going sideways. They're talking to us to see if we can take them out.
What kind of a business should be knocking on your door right now? Who can you help most?
There's truly not an industry or a business.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Finance.
Everybody. Banks, as you know, we went through a tough time in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and things have changed. They have drastically changed. So looking for a client that we can do business with, we're looking everywhere. So every opportunity that we get is very welcome. Wells Fargo has 86 lines of business, different lines of business. So from our capital finance group that does exactly what he does, but at a higher level, we have that capability. We're the second largest equipment bank affiliated finance company that we have. So there, when you sit in with someone, like anything else that you do in business, ask them, what's your story? Who are you? Many times what we get is a client that unfortunately comes in and sits down with a personal bank that just has a year or 2 years worth of experience, and it says, you know what? I didn't get anything out of that. They couldn't help me. unfortunately, you're not sitting with someone that is experienced.
You know, Wells, the SBA/Wells has a list of franchises that are approved, and, you know, they have franchises that, for all practical purposes, have been blackballed.
Absolutely.
You know, Quiznos treats their franchisees very poorly. You know, there's a whole list of one, and you can't do a finance company with an SBA. You can't do many of the sin businesses with an
Yeah.
SBA. They prefer a daycare with land, if I understand correctly, you know. So, you know, he's got the whole laundry list. So if you figure out the business, call him up, and they almost like 5-star and 4-star and 3-star and 1-star and blackball them. And there's a pyramid that basically has them all there. The secret sauce to SBA.
So I just welcome you that if you ever have any questions, I have my business cards, I got material that I can leave with you. You know, just give me a shout, give me a call and say, hey, this is an opportunity that I'm looking at. Is there a way that you can help?
Instead of a business card, how about just a cashier's check to take with us?
That is great.
Cruiser hands.
Thank you.
Good job.